Welcome back to the A4Q Testing Summit edition 2024. It's been a jam-packed day full of insightful presentations, and with me right now I have Dr. Abbas AHMAD. I'm proud to present him and his oncoming topic about the A4Q Practical Tester. It's such a delight having you here, Abbas.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Well, let's get started on the A4Q Practical Tester. I'm quite excited to find out more about this platform.
Great. Thank you, Abid. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to present this new revolutionary product, which is the A4Q Practical Tester. The objective of this presentation is not going to be really technical, but I just wanted to present to you a new tool which will give you the ability to learn the basis of testing, really complementing the ISTQB foundation level testing techniques that we all learn theoretically, and the idea by developing this new tool for A4Q Practical Tester was to fill the gap where we had new upcoming talents in testing, which were learning the ISTQB foundation level and gaining a lot of good theoretical knowledge, knowing what are the best practices, but the next phase is always applying those knowledge into the real world to be able to go and work in a company as a tester. And this tool is here just to fill that gap and really elevate the testing skills of new upcoming testers. This presentation have 4 small sections. So I'm going to present in general the practical tester. Then we are going to see why exactly we are going to go into more details. Why did we develop this tool? And then we are going to see what it does and how it's going to improve your testing skills. And we are going to conclude with some additional informations at the end. So the practical tester, which is an A4Q product, as I already presented it, it's really here to fill the gap between the theoretical knowledge that you gain from, for example, an ISTQB certification. We want to further improve your testing skills, and by that we need to have a different way of learning the testing techniques. We are moving from multiple choice questions to open text exams. So we are going to say, okay, that's something new. We are speaking about exam. What is it actually? So the A4Q Practical Tester, if I have to sum it up in general, so really quickly, it's a 2-day training course with 10 practical objectives, which we will see together. And we have the training and an exam which will certify you. It's an A4Q certification. We'll see into details, all the details about the exam. Basically, it's here really to complement the ISTQB foundation level certification. One of the first things that we want to convey out here that it's really a way of mastering the practical testing skills that you will already have by learning the basis of software testing. So in software testing, we don't want only, so in general, companies are not looking for people with a lot of theory. They want people to be able to practically test the application and ensure that they have the best quality overall for the software. And this training This tool that we are going to present will help achieve that by giving you hands-on exercises. And also, what is the most important part is having a dynamic feedback. It's an AI-powered tool, which means that you will learn how to apply the testing techniques. You will apply them, and you will have an instant feedback by our specialized AI model, which will give you feedback on what you did right, what you did wrong, and how you can improve your test cases to the scenario which is presented to you. Um, it's also a way, as all certification schemes and training, it's also a good way to assess your competency. You can, by having the A4Q Practical Tester certification, you can certify that you know what you are doing. That's also the idea, is that it is possible to showcase your practical skills with this certification. And it's a certification which is also recognized uh, internationally, being supported uh, by many countries around the world, by many member boards of the ISTQB around the world. So why why do I want to follow this training course and do the A4Q exam? So as already stated, it's suitable for new testers who want to learn more how to apply correctly, not just having the theoretical knowledge. They want to apply the testing skills that they have learned. And for the more experienced software tester, it's always a good idea to stay up to date with the new testing techniques that are emerging. Uh, our um, our tool, the A4Q Practical Tester, follows closely the ISTQB foundation level version 4.0, which is relatively new. It has been out for a year, and you can stay up to date with the latest best practices. It will, as said before, it will validate that you practically know how to test a software. You practically know how to use the testing techniques in order to test a software. Uh, we build this tool and this certification scheme built around this tool in order to develop your career, as said. So it will boost your efficiency and effectiveness by staying up to date with the latest testing techniques. You will know how to apply the testing techniques faster, following the best practices given by the ISTQB. Uh, it's a certification, as said, globally recognized. You can prove that you know what you're doing, and that's really important to develop your career, to have this recognition uh, with the certificate that the A4Q Practical Tester is proposing. Let's go into more detail about this training, the A4Q Practical Tester tool, and the certification and the exam that comes with it. Um, so what are the first testing techniques that I learned with the A4Q Practical Tester? It's a 2 days training where you are going to be learning testing techniques on the Bloom taxonomy. We are staying at the applying knowledge level. Uh, we are not teaching the at least the A4Q practical tester does not offer first knowledge levels of in the Bloom taxonomy, which are you have to remember certain words and understand some definitions. We are fully compliant with the ISTQB glossary, so all the definitions and all the correct terminology that is used in ISTQB is reused in the A4Q Practical Tester. We are really, as the name states, we are really concentrated on applying the testing techniques and learning how to use them in certain scenarios, in certain real life contexts. We have the practical objectives that if you can read the PO1, PO2, and so on, it's practical objectives, which means that are the testing techniques that you will have to learn and then evaluate yourself on the tool before going to the exam. The testing techniques are aligned with the ISTQB foundation level certification version 4.0, which is the latest one. We have testing techniques that range from equivalence partitioning to boundary value analysis to decision tables, state transition, and we go a bit further than what the ISTQB foundation level proposes by having some practical objectives where when we have learned how to apply each testing technique individually, we are going to look on how to combine those testing techniques in order to test our application. That is really the idea of the practical tester, is to be able to expand on what the ISTQB as a complement to the ISTQB foundation level. We want to expand on your theoretical knowledge and then put you in real life scenarios where you will be able to take all the knowledge that you have learned and to be able to construct test cases for the applications that you are testing. In order to show you how the tool works, we're going I want to show you the tool exactly how it works and how the AI is used to evaluate your knowledge, your practical knowledge. So thank you for putting so yes. So when you go to the tool, I will give you the link at the end of the presentation. We will have a free demo if you want to try it yourself and have a quick look. You will have to create an account first, then log in to use the application. So when you create your account, you validate your account by clicking on a link that will be sent to your email. You will have access to the practical tester tool. We can start as the first program that we are proposing. It's the A4Q Practical Tester. Maybe in the future we will have other programs proposed in the tool. And when you get into the tool, you will find the practical objectives one by one stated in the tool. From the start of this presentation, I was stating that it is a 2-day training with using the tool and then doing the certification exam. So this is true if you decide to do a training, but you can also go to the tool, learn by yourself. The practical objectives we have in the tool, for each practical objective, we have a learn more button, which will give you in details, explain to you how equivalence partitioning works, for example, how each testing technique works, and then you will be able to train your knowledge on each practical each testing technique individually. For example, if I choose to do the equivalence partitioning to derive test cases practical objective, I can press on the button tray. I will have a question. So I'm putting in, I have the context of the question, and then I have the question which I need to answer. So we are not doing any multiple choice questions. It's an open text answer from your side. For example, you can answer to the question by stating that you don't know. I can write I don't know and submit my answer, and we have on the right side the AI which will evaluate our response and give us a score and some recommendations. And here we see that it's telling us the user's response, I don't know, does not provide any information. That's why we got 0% score. And we are not responding to the answer at all. And we have the recommendation how we could improve um, our answer. If I go back so to the application, we have the 10 practical objectives, and we can also, yeah, that's something I did not say, out loud, but if I go to train again, so I will be presented with a random question. I can move between questions with the button next question, or there's another way if you want to go back to a certain question. For example, if I read this question number 37, I read it, I have the context, it is asking me for valid and invalid equivalence partitions. I don't remember exactly what is an invalid equivalence partition, or I have a doubt. I can go back, learn about it in the learn more in the syllabus that we are offering, and then go to browse questions and looking for the practical objective one, which is using equivalence partitioning to derive test cases. I can go look for the question that I wanted to improve on. For example, here, question 37, I can go back to it and or choose any other question that we are offering. The idea is that you will have an unlimited number of questions in the application. You can always come back and you will find new questions, new challenges to answer and improve your skills upon. Let's try this question number one, where it is saying that we have an application which categorizes a certain person into three groups of ages: child, teen, and adult, and we want to use equivalence partitioning to identify the valid and invalid equivalence partitions. I can, for example, try to copy paste from the question the answer, saying that I'm a bit tired and I don't want to type in. Our specialized model will detect that we have copy pasted part of the question, and it will tell you that we are just repeating the age categories provided in the question without addressing the actual query. So this is the instant feedback that we get from our specialized AI, which has been trained to detect has been trained to recommend you a correct answer, or at least to respond to you and score your answer. But it also has been tailored to be as a teaching AI, because we don't want the students to, or you personally, to be copy pasting questions as an answer. For example, let's try to answer this question. And if I really don't know and I want to know what is the correct solution, we have a button here which states reveal example solution. I can go to that solution and look what is the correct answer. If after some tries I'm not able to get the 100% mark or have the correct solution, I can go and see. So of course, try at least first before taking the example solution. So just remember that it is an example solution. It is not the solution to have full marks. It's one of the solution. Everybody is different. Everybody will respond to this question differently. And here, if I I submit this answer, it is giving me 100% score. So saying that there's no further action needed, my answer is complete and accurate. So let's try to make this answer incomplete. For example, by removing one of the equivalence partitions, one of the valid equivalence partition in the question. If I submitted, the AI should detect that I have an equivalence partition missing. For example, it is telling me that I have correctly identified the valid equivalence partition for child and teen. However, I missed the specifying the adult category as a valid equivalence partition. And it is removing 10% of my score because I have missed one of those partitions, one of those valid equivalence partitions. And if, for example, I did not miss, so that's another example I wanted to show you. If I have the adult partition and I put an something which is not correct, for example, or not that precise, I can say, for example, more than 20, which can be, for example, 101 or 102, and I'm going outside of the boundaries of that equivalence partition. Let's see the AI answer, and it will detect so the invalid partition. Here it is telling us there is a minor error in the adult category where the user mentioned more than 20 instead of 20 to 100. It is also recommending us to clarify the age range for adult from 20 to 100 to fully match the question's specification. So it's an instant feedback mechanism where you can know what you have done wrong and how you can improve on your answers with the AI feedback. Um, Another thing we can do, as it is a training tool, so it's a tool which allows you to learn about equivalence partitioning, decision tables, state transitions, creating test plans, preparing defect report, for example. We can also train on sample exams in the application. I can start a new sample exam and it will give me the conditions of the exam, and I can choose to start my exam, for example. And the exam, I will state it a bit later, but the exam just is 60 minutes, so 1 hour for 15 questions. We have an exam structure which I will share with you also a bit later. We have 4 questions about equivalence partitioning, 2 questions about boundary value analysis, and so on to fill in. So if you have heard about the ISTQB foundation level, it's 40 questions for 60 minutes. And this certification can be done like that with multiple choice question where you can pick the correct answer in a relatively quick manner. But here you have to type your answers, you have to read the question, you have to think about what you're going to type, and then you have to type it. So that's why we have way less questions for the same amount of time, so you have time to answer the question by typing the solution. And if I respond here, for example, in this sample exam, I'm telling it I don't know, and I'm going to the next question. Also, I would say I like football, for example, for the football fans. I will be able to check the different questions. So maybe I'm not going to answer all of them here, but I can finish my exam, and I will have also in the same manner the results of my exam directly. So I scored 0%. I need 65% to pass, and then for my exam, I have for each question my answer. So the question, my answer, the explanation, and the recommendation. And of course, when I don't provide any answer, it is not providing any recommendation. That's normal. So when you go to your dashboard and you have a tab for your exam results, so you can see here my exam results are not showing any signs of improvement over the time. From May to July, I have a 0% score all over, but you can have a feeling of what is the score. Are you improving over time in the sample exam, so you can be a bit more confident to do the real proctored exam, which will give you a certification if you get more than 65%. So that's the idea about the application. The A4Q Practical Tester application, you will have access to a part of the application, a demo part where you will be able to test the application on some questions in order to play with it and to see to evaluate your knowledge on some of the questions we will propose to you. Now, if you go back to the slides, so we have been presenting the application. Just if you want to know a little bit more about the application, so you are able to go as of today, as of right now, to the aiexam.online URL. Please register, try it out. It's available in English and French for now. We are collaborating with ISTQB boards in different countries in order to support more language. For example, I know that Italian and Chinese are in the pipeline. If you want the language of your country to be supported, please ask your local ISTQB board uh, for this, and we will be happy to provide it. As seen together, the exam is 60 minutes. You have we kept the ISTQB guidelines on giving 25% extra time for non-native speakers. You need 65% in order to pass the exam. 15 question. We have done a lot of benchmarks, and it's really a good way to do the exam. So for each exam, of course, we have a syllabus, we have a training material, and the syllabus. The syllabus can be downloaded. I think you will be able to download the slides that I am presenting. But if you go to A4Q Practical Tester, you will find the link to the syllabus, which is available for you to read. We have a syllabus which enables you to prepare for the exam alongside the tool. That's it for me. I have finished my presentation. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate.
Abbas, first of all, I just want to say very thank you for an excellent presentation on a revolutionary new product. I'm so excited to see more of the A4Q Practical Tester as time goes by, and I'm sure our audience must feel the same way. We do have a few questions for you, starting off with, is an ISTQB certified tester foundation level certificate mandatory to obtain the A4Q Practical Tester certificate?
So we do not ask for the certificate. We highly recommend having one. So as our point is, we recommend you to have the certificate. That's our position on that.
Okay,
We are
so it's not
complementary.
mandatory.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not mandatory, but it is recommended to have the CTFL certificate.
Highly recommended. Yes.
Highly recommended. Okay, our next question is AI used for the exam marking process?
So yes, but how is it used is the is the is the correct question. We use AI as a pre-marking, but you are not. It's not the AI who is giving the last. Who is not the one who is marking the students. So we have an expert actually who is reviewing the marking and correcting it if there is a mistake. With AI sometimes it's not 100% deterministic and we can have some failures. So we always have someone reading the outputs of the AI to make sure that you have a fair score in the exam.
That's excellent. And I believe it already answers our next question, which is, are the results given by the AI only, or will my results be verified by an expert?
Exactly.
So as you previously said, verified by an expert in this case.
Exactly. Totally.
Abbas, thank you so much.
You are welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming, and we're looking forward to having you at the next A4Q Testing Summit. To all of our viewers who are still watching, we encourage you to stay tuned for our next round of presentations, which will start on the hour, and have a fantastic day, Abbas. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.